I realized that I should start living up to the name that I selected for this channel a little bit more. I should be discussing philosophy, my world philosophy, because I have one. World philosophy and national philosophy. And I would like to think that national philosophies could be different depending on what people's interests are. I imagine a world that is not made up of, conglomerates of communism and capitalism. Not even groups of people who speak in the same language, but types of people. By choice. Not like you're forced to live there or anything. But it makes sense to me that people know what they like know who they know who they like to avoid, only because they just don't get along with them and they don't think the same and they're not interested in each other. In America, this isn't just a melting pot, this is finger painting. It's just, you go in a grocery store and it's just so many different kinds of people, and they're all just keeping to themselves in their own little families. They don't look at each other. They don't, say like you got 3 different races in the grocery line or something. I just think that this forced hegemony, it doesn't work. For a nation to thrive, I just believe there's got to be harmony and friendship and mutual motivation, mutual aspiration. Sometimes I like to envision just a really grotesque overhaul of the planet where we just clear out the Great Plains of the United States. You can't live there unless you're working there, or you can visit there. But all big cities, in the middle of the tornado country, would just grow food there. The great arable land of the world, I think, should just be cleared out and farmed. And if people want to build a city or something, do it in a desert. Build your big crazy buildings out in the Sahara Desert or in Las Vegas area. Just in places where you're not going to grow food. And, but be close to places where the food's grown because, if shipping breaks down. What I think we suffer from, generally, is a desperation for money. I'm not saying money is the root of all evil, but I'm saying the desperation for money is the root of all evil. And the system is in place to make it just unquestionable and unequivocally people are desperate for money, and that is their motivating force in their life. They just got to go get their money to give it to somebody else who is overpricing whatever it is that the person's needing to have. I envision a world where you don't pay for electricity, you don't pay for natural gas or the gas in your car. I don't believe that oil is a finite resource. We were always brainwashed in school that oil is the decomposed ancient plants and shrubs of the world of the dinosaurs. But what disproves that are the deep water drilling. It totally disproves it. Like that BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Tons of oil under there. No, there are no dead trees under there. That's miles and miles and miles down there. I believe if you dig deep enough, you'll find oil. I think the mantle of the earth, like they said, the mantle, remember they say there's the crust, there's the mantle, then there's the core, as if they know what they're talking about. They never seen the mantle. Mantle's probably the oil. And it's probably the blood of the planet. The planet is a living being. It didn't just... I don't believe in the Pangea theory. I was just looking at the globe one day, and I noticed... Now, you can do this. Go ahead and do this. Everybody can see that South America can hug up against Africa. And you can kind of see, if you scrunch the North America down, where, say, like you close the Gulf of Mexico, you get the top shape of Africa there. But what nobody sees, and I swear nobody sees this, you take Australia and you move it east, it hugs up against South America. With the same scrunch down of North America, you get the exact line of California, the coast of California, in the Marianas Trench, where basically Tokyo would just be a few miles north of San Francisco. You do the same thing with Greenland, can hug up against part of Russia, and Antarctica comes up. India did a funny thing. A piece of India went up and moved into the Himalayas, but you get my point. I believe the Earth grew. Like, here we go. You know, that's my personal belief about the planet and how it was formed. And that's why I think the dinosaurs were gigantic. And that's why I think, you know, I don't know why they're hiding all the giant skeletons of humans that they've been finding. Some of them are huge, 20 feet tall. And they're hiding them. That's not Photoshop. There's all kinds of documentation of this. Before Photoshop happened, these photos were in existence. There's photos of this hundreds of years old. I mean, you know, 100 years old. And I believe it was an atmospheric difference type of thing. And I just believe under different atmospheric conditions, biology is different. We're more protected from the sun and allowed to grow more. I don't know. I don't understand it. But I mean, I just think that's why the animals were so much bigger back then. And, well, I guess I could go on and on with this, but I mean, as far as human society is concerned, I just believe that we gotta get into a consciousness where money is funny money, not necessity. It just, we gotta work together and make necessities just available to anybody, and that money is just there if you want to be ambitious, to be, you know, a maker of commodities, you want to be a fashion designer, just for fun. That's my thing. That's what money should be for. You can still gamble, you can still just, you know, if you got a lot of it, then you can have a lot of necklaces, you got a lot of it, you can have great cars, but you never, ever, we gotta make it a world law that you can never, ever use it to coerce people and to make them impoverished. And, you know, one of the reasons I go on and on about all this stuff is I got hit with a lot of personal problems when my parents died, especially when my mom got sick. I had to pay for all those expensive medical costs, and it really ruined everything. I couldn't pay the taxes on what she had to do, and I was the executor, so I got garnished by the IRS. Long story short, yeah, then I couldn't pay my mortgage because I did it out of my stock account, and that's what they garnished. I did it without warning. There's nothing I could do about it. I don't want a world with the IRS. I don't even want a United States. I mean, it'd be great if we could have a United States like it's supposed to be, but I don't believe in that. I don't think the United States has ever been like that, where they talk about it in the Constitution. And that's why they spit on it so much, because they're just, the powers that be are just like, look, the Constitution is just there to kind of mess with people's heads, because most people are ignorant and they don't get it. I'm saying all this on June 1st, 2013. I got my windows open. You can hear the morning birds. Oh God, I would love to see this in my lifetime, but I don't know. The only way this would happen is if people just, you know, I got a lot of hell for one of my videos where I was talking about shooting cops and things like that. I didn't mean shoot the cops, just to shoot them, or anybody. I mean when you're dealing with absolute evil, when they totally overstep their boundaries, and when you know who's, you know, exploiting the situation. You know, I named some of the provocateurs. You know, it's pretty goddamn sure that, you know, people like Alex Jones and Adam Kokesh, you know, their agenda is pretty obvious, and it's just, I'm not saying shoot them, it just, shoot them hypothetically, metaphorically, you know, shoot down their game in mass. You know, when they show up at one of these rallies like Hokes did with the marijuana thing, just get around him in a circle and scream, "You are a fraud, you are a fraud," you know. People just gotta like each other more, and I think like-minded people gotta get together, you know what I mean? I never see big groups of Hispanics hanging out with big groups of white people or blacks, you know. There's just no way around it. Blacks want to be with blacks, and it's not even racism. It's not hatred. It's just a natural, you know, intuition and affinity. So I just think that there are 7 continents, and there are 7. There's more. You know, you could take all the races in the world and give them a place that's theirs, and then we could have another area for people that want to be in hegemony. You know, if you want to go there and all live together, fine. I don't know how to do that, but I want to give Africa back to the black people. You know what I mean? Asia exclusively Asians. No foreign bankers get to govern their monetary system. You know, people don't. Yeah, you know, the big when Japan became super prosperous, that was because they were given a lot of money by other people. Japan's not governed by the Japanese. I want money out of here. I want the secret money out of here. And I want it. I don't mind fractional reserve lending, but not when it's a coercion weapon. It could be done by the central treasury of the government of the country, and I don't want government to be a career. Like Ron Paul spent his whole life as a senator. I don't want that, because that's what invites the briberies and the corruption. It's like the bright minds of the society are selected to be in government for a certain amount of time, and they do the job, and then they go back to their life. That's how I want to see it. Unless there's a super leader that everybody loves. But I don't want... The career thing is what corrupts all of those politicians. That's my initial philosophy on this stuff. Yeah, I'm going to run out of time here. Thanks for watching.